Hi, this is Alan Schimmel at DevOps.com here at Jenkins World, and I'm joined by Wendy Anderson of Pacific Life. Wendy, welcome.
Thank you, Alan.
Thanks. So Wendy, you are attending Jenkins World.
I am.
And you are the elusive, rare practitioner, not a vendor, not an analyst, not a media person. You're someone who's really doing
the
DevOps.
roaming, grazing practitioner.
Practitioner, rarely seen. But seriously, Wendy, you are a senior
DevOps engineer
at Pacific.
At Pacific Life, yes.
Why don't you give our audience just a little insight? What really, day to day, what are you working on?
I'm working on a variety of things. I will be working on, you get all kinds of things from working with your customers, which are the people in your environment, and you'll get so I'll go to meetings, I'll work with the project managers, and they'll say, hey, we have these different things in your sprints and different things like that. These are the deliverables and different things like that. You'll go back, you'll work with the various people in your environment, all of my engineers, and we're like, hey, let's log in. We're looking at Jenkins, we're looking at different things. One of the things I'm actually here for is one of the applications I work on actually is in cruise control and working in SVN, and I need to port that over into Jenkins.
Right.
We just did a Git merge.
Oh, okay.
And that was on the Jenkins side, that plays with Jenkins and Nexus and all that kind of stuff. So we're real happy that worked very well. And so we log into Jenkins, we looked at it, see everything's happy and working well in that particular area, and we report back to our portal side and our WebSphere side of the house, hey, everything's working fine there. That can be bubbled up to production. And then we work on our next iteration of code. So we're constantly deploying. Constantly.
Very cool.
Jenkins allows us to constantly just keep rolling on these things, and it's smooth.
Yeah. So let me ask you a little bit about, so is your team the only team within all of Pacific Life that's working with Jenkins?
Yes.
So it's kind of centralized.
It is centralized. Actually,
and then you work with all the different pieces.
I actually was talking to Ken Walker of CloudBees because he was like, oh, you're with Pacific Life. I didn't know anybody was here from Pacific Life. And I said, well, yes. And he apparently was talking to somebody else within Pacific Life on the production side who was trying to send somebody, and they didn't know that somebody from the DevOps side was coming.
Right.
Hello,
and here you are.
Here I am.
Well, you know what? That's a great segue, Wendy, into something else, a little sensitive subject I wanted to bring up. And that is, obviously, you're a female, you're a woman. And, when we look out, and our audience can't see beyond the booth because they're only seeing us.
Yeah.
But we look out on a sea of about 1,200 people, and I don't see a lot of women.
There aren't a lot of women. It's funny because I look around, and even when I'm looking out there, I get a lot of different looks,
Yeah.
And in my last team, when I worked at DirecTV, I was the only female, other than perhaps project management, but I was the only female engineer, other than if you looked on the coding side. But within DevOps, there are so many times when I am the only engineer.
Yeah.
And even now within my team, I am the only engineer.
Yep.
Female.
We spoke a little beforehand.
Right.
You have two daughters.
I do have.
You've taken your daughters to scale and some of these other things. What can we do about? I mean, the problem is obvious, right? You only need a set of eyes to see.
Right.
What can we do? You're someone who's been there, done that, got the T-shirt to prove it. What can we do to make this better?
I think that I think that schools are coming around. I think girls in code. I think there's
Women
a
who
lot.
code, all of that, yeah.
There's a lot of actual initiatives that are out there. The Girls in Code initiative.
Yes.
There's a lot of mathematical initiatives. I was actually talking to a booth over here called Fugue, and when I was in AP English, I wrote a paper on Gödel, Escher, Bach, canons and fugues and bootstrapping. Who does their English paper on bootstrapping and infinite, mathematical analysis? Who does that, right? I encourage everybody who has a girl or has a little girl or any girls who are interested in math, just find what they're really interested in and find the things that are barriers. Because I honestly, I had some barriers in math.
No doubt.
And my mom always found a tutor for me because I would be really good in math and then I would find a little road bump and I would be like, I don't get it.
And ready to give up.
And I would get ready. I would, because it would just be something that was slightly out of place and nobody would be there to guide me because she couldn't get it.
Yep.
And she didn't know how to communicate with me. You need somebody there who can speak that mathematical language.
Well, not only speak, but encourage you that yes, you can.
And
yes, you can.
I'm very encouraging with my daughters, like, hey, look at this world of math. It's a completely different language, but it's an amazing and infinite language. And anything here, like all of these things, Python, all of these different things, they're just different languages.
Yep,
and
I agree.
They just do so much for you. They can extend your world.
You know what? With the whole presidential election and everything, I don't want to get into politics.
No.
But certainly we live in a time where, you know what? Any girl can grow up and be anything she wants. So
I think
let's hope so. I hope, one day we'll sit out here and it'll be 50-50 or at least 60-40, but something better than it is. But it'll be because people like you. Okay, Wendy from Pacific Life, and this is Alan Schimmel from DevOps.com.